Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest. Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, today we're talking about surviving the Bitcoin and crypto winter out there. Crypto winter survival tips. I wanted to share a few with them as the rest of the boomers tune into this live broadcast. Indeed, this is a live one. I need you touching all the buttons out there, the like, to subscribe, the post notification bell, the ding ding. Make sure you're tuned in to the good crypto word that we spread here daily, whether it's Bitcoin kabooms, Bitcoin summers, Bitcoin winters, more bits, and more kabooms all around. Shout out to Jigger Romes and the rest of the boomers that are tuning into this live broadcast. Today we'll be talking about surviving the Bitcoin and crypto winter. Crypto winter survival tips. I see Derek McLean, good morning. I see Queen's Races, good morning. I see Jigger Romes and the rest of the boomers congregating here in the population of the chat box. We'll be giving out some crypto winter survival tips. It's a bloodbath out there. Of course, you guys have been tuned in. You see some of the baby bear cubs have completely been obliterated. The funny bunnies have been killed in actions. And what remains is a few good men, a few good crypto maniac soldiers out here that are going to weather this crypto storm. We're going to be talking about some tips and what's going to happen out there. Good morning to D-Rock, Matthew Box, Derek, Rafterman. I see the boomers, Marlon Jones, Matthew Box. The boomers are still here. The boomers are still here. And today we're going to be talking about these survival tips out there. Make sure you comment during the population of the chat box. We see D-Rock saying that there is no sound. Okay. If you can hear me, if you could read me, let me know out there. We got someone reporting that there is no sound. On my end, it's coming in clearly. So let me know if you could hear Champagne. I see Mr. Pajot Williams out there. He says he just bought 300 Neo. Okay, perfect sound. All right. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, D-Rock, you may be muted out there. Queens can hear me. We're all good out there. Okay. I hear you loud and clear. Thanks a lot, guys. Derek, everybody's okay. So you may have me on mute out there, Derek, D-Rock. Anyhow, welcome. We got 14 crypto maniacs watching right now. Live stream health is on the green. Today we're talking about crypto winter survival tips. But first, let me share my screen with the boomers out there and see how healthy or ill the markets are looking out there. And I can't share my screen. What's going on out there? Okay. It's all good. The screen is not coming in. And we may have to script that, but that's all good. We'll keep it on the audio. I hear you now and I had to reboot. No problem, D-Rock. I'm having problems here on my end trying to share the screen out here, but it's all good, guys. We'll keep rocking it. We'll be talking about these crypto survival tips. Let's check out the coin market caps currently at $120 billion, losing a little weight out there. I expect things to go a little lower. I can see things going 100 billion at this point. Bitcoin dominance at 53.2. That's interesting, and we talked about this yesterday. I've been expecting things to go higher as far as the Bitcoin dominance. I could see things going to 60. Other boomers were saying up to 80%. I don't know if that's true or not, but we can expect things to consolidate the Bitcoin as the market continues to plunge down south. We got Bitcoin currently at 36.98. Let me hit refresh and make sure it's all good out there. 36.90, 37.10. Okay. Ripple has taken the #2 spot. Smells like central banking, and I'm not believing it. Ether losing weight at $105. Expect Ether to dip, dive, and slide under 100 during this crypto winter. Bitcoin Cash out there at 174. It looks like the hash wars had ended, and Bitcoin ABC is Bitcoin Cash, and now we got Satoshi's Vision on the top 10. We'll be talking about that as well. I'm not believing the hype. EOS now a top 5 coin at 296, looking slim as well. Stellar, Ripple's little cousin, now at #6 at 13 cents. Tether can't seem to hold $1. It's at 98 cents, so that's not good either. Litecoin, a stinky bag. You know how I feel about that. $29, looking bad for Litecoin. Now we got Satoshi's vision, this hard fork that was created out of the Bitcoin Cash quarrel and hash wars. This one's traded at $97. I'm not believing this one either, guys. I'm not believing this one either. We got Cardano at 3 cents out there. And, you know, this one, I think Cardano could survive the crypto winter. We'll be talking about that as well. Monero, one of my faves, at 54, getting obliterated out there. Tron at 1 cent, Dash at 86 as the rest of the boomers tune in. I see you, Tess. I like your thumbnail. Thumbs up. Yeah, it's a crypto winter. It's a frosty one out there. It's getting cold out there. Make sure you bundle up, crypto boomers. Marlon Jones says, can't see the market cap, only the thumbnail. I know, Marlon. I just explained. I'm trying to share my screen out there, and I'm having some problems. So we're going to have to rock today without the display and just listen to the audio. It's all good. I don't want to reboot or anything. So let's just keep rocking with it. D-Rock says, money hiding in the stable coins waiting on the boom, I guess. You know how I feel about those stable coins, D-Rock. I think they're counterfeit crypto. Mark D says BTC sub 2000 incoming, question mark. It may be. We'll be talking about that. Alistair Newland says lock and load. What do you say by the dip and what a dip it is? Indeed, it's dipping, diving, and sliding. Looking like a bloodbath out there. Marlon says about to load up on my Chinese blockchains out there as soon as this BTC deposits hit the Huobi exchange. All right, Marlon. Rafter Man says I hear nothing. Okay. Most people say they are hearing me, so you may have me there on mute. It looks like we're having some sort of technical difficulties. I don't know if technical difficulties here on my end. I'm trying to share the screen, and some people say that they can't hear me. So if you can hear me, say you could hear me. Most people said they can. So Derek says he can. So it's apparently it's not everyone out there. Today I want to share some crypto winter survival tips. I have 3 tips out there. I should have actually named the title of this video, 3 tips to survive the crypto winter. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and discuss them, and I'll put them in the description box at the end of the broadcast so that the people listening to the replay can tune on in. Good morning to Rafterman. He says he's got me now. Okay. Mark D says, I wonder if Cardano will make it out alive as it's only 3 pennies now. I know. It's almost down to 1 penny out there. So let's see. Queen says he hears me loud and clear. Okay. So we're good. BTC could go to 24.96, says Derek McLean. And Rafterman is loving the sale. Marlon Jones says Christmas is early for the crypto investors. And it looks like we have a red tag. Cyber Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a whole kaboom on the discounts here with the cryptos. And we're going to be talking about that. Let's talk about these survival tips. Number 1, I got 3 tips that I want to discuss out here. And as I share my tips, after I share my tips, I want you guys to share some of your tips to survive this crypto winter. Because indeed, right now, it's a bloodbath out there. We shared yesterday that we're down over 80% from an all-time high. And this is the 4th major Bitcoin bubble burst that's happened through the life cycle of Bitcoin. Tune into yesterday's broadcast if you want to learn more about that. So crypto winter survival tips, surviving the Bitcoin and crypto winter is a frosty and cold one. Number 1, okay, don't attempt to buy or time the bottom. Nobody knows where the bottom is right now. I've heard every opinion out there, and nobody seems to hit it on the nose. People are getting close, but no one knows. Some people say the bottom has been reached. Other people say that we're going to plunge down to 1,000, and nobody knows, okay? If you feel the need to buy, that's okay, because we're getting close to the bottom. But in my personal opinion, again, I'm not an advisor, a crypto maniac boomer giving his opinion here with the maniacs in the box, I would say to dollar cost average and tread lightly. If you feel the need to buy, dollar cost average, and you know that means every week or every other day or every periodically buy the same amount and trickle it in little by little. That way, if the price goes up or goes down, you get some sort of an average price of what's occurring right now. Again, don't attempt to time the bottom. Champagne doesn't know where the bottom is. Nobody here knows where the bottom is. It could go lower, and I expect it to actually go lower, and we're going to be talking about that as well. Crypto winter survival tip number 2. Have most of your bags in Bitcoin. In my personal opinion, if you're holding through this storm, I would say have half the bag, a minimum of 50%. And for you, for those that are more conservative, you may want to ramp it up to 80 or 90%. I've seen some boomers holding the majority of their bags in Bitcoin that way. Okay, because that ties into point number 3. expect most of the altcoins to crash and burn during this crypto winter. I think this crypto winter is going to last longer than some may expect. And you can expect only about 5 or 10 good ones to survive the long term. We got 2,000. How many coins we got here on the over 2,000 cryptocurrencies on the market cap right now. And I'm telling you, boomers, the majority of them are going to crash and burn out there. I expect only about 5 or 10 to survive the long term. Okay, if you feel the need to hodl altcoins, I would say pick 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is my personal opinion. This is aside from Bitcoin. If you feel the need to hold on to the alts, pick the gunners that you like and hold about 1 to 3. Okay, I'm above 85% BTC, says Rafterman. Okay, so share some of your crypto winter survival tips. Those are 3 tips that I have. Don't buy or attempt to find the bottom. If you want to buy right now, dollar cost average. Have most of your bags in Bitcoin, a minimum of 50%. Rafterman sharing that he has 85%, so he's conservative. And then number 3 is expect most of these altcoins to crash and burn. They're majority are just not going to survive out there. If you really want to hold your altcoins, I would say pick like 1, 2, no more than 3, and you know, hodl through the storm. I think Bitcoin's going to come out of this one, and of course, you know, I think maybe 5 or 10 will survive the long term. We just don't know. I would compare this to the .com bubble. Okay, you see most of the companies during the .com bubble, they went down to 0. They got liquidated out there, and what rose out of the ashes was companies like Google, Facebook. I mean, excuse me, Google, eBay, and others. There was only a handful. There was only like 10 of them that really survived that .com bubble burst. And I expect something similar to happen here in the cryptocurrency markets. Queen's Racist says, do not sell, at least hodl till backed on January 24th, says Queen's Racist. Crypto Stack says, what are your personal picks for long-term alts? You know, we could talk about that. We're going to go down the list. The Revolutionist says, I hodl 95% ADA. Just give it a few years. We know that. Revolutionist is, you know, what leading the charge there with Cardano. He's a believer. And, you know, I say expect most of the altcoins to crash and burn. If you feel the need to hodl altcoins like Revolutionist, pick 1 or no more than 3. So Revolution is doing that. He's got 1 altcoin that he's gunning on, so that's what it is. Rafterman, let me throw a bomb out there for you. Kaboom. Rafterman with his daily $2 there, the population of the chat box. Let me throw a little fiat there for you. Rafterman, I appreciate you. A great show. Missed yesterday, and that's all good. Welcome back here to the population. You're always welcome, and I appreciate the 2 super chats open here during the crypto winter out there. We shall survive. Marlon Jones says, I'm a savage. Quarter of the bag in BTC. 3/4 in favorite alts. When bull does show up, good alts will run thousands of %. And, you know, the good alts will run. And I do agree with that. But I'm going to tell you out there, Marlon, I think, you know, the majority of these will crash and burn. So hopefully you're not holding those. Mac Jamison says, but the probability of having one of those phoenixes, if you're holding only 3, is so low, it's almost 0. Okay, that's true. Absolutely. But here, we're here for the long gun. You know, me personally, I would say if trying to chase altcoins is like trying to chase the lottery. No one really knows out there. So if you're for a long term, more conservative, I would say hold on to the bits because we know that that's going to survive the storm. Crypto Staffs loves Cardano. And most of the boomers here in the population love Cardano. CryptoZilla said the fear factor is what we're looking for. When the mood of most are scared, then it's the best time to buy. And that is true. That's true. When people are scared, you want to go in there and buy. But I would say don't try to buy the bottom and throw all the bag in at once because no one knows where the bottom is. If you feel the need to buy and you think that it's time to buy, I would say the best plan of action is to dollar cost average and, you know, fire periodically. Mark D says, Revolutionist, I hope Cardano makes its touch and go right now. Yeah, I hope so. You know, we'll see. Rico says, Monero. I like Monero. Mac James says, I say hold some of all the top 30 or so. Okay, and that's his crypto winter survival tip, says Mac Jameson. So, you know, I would like to hear what your tips are. These are my personal tips that I shared, and then you have other opinions like Mac's, and I appreciate that. So, you know, chime in like Mac did and let me know what are some of your winter survival tips here for this winter storm. Queen's Racist says he's long-term on Neo, Litecoin, Cardano, and Digibyte. So that's about 4 altcoins. You know, I think that's a little bit too many, but you know, again, that's up to you. That's not too much, and that's what it is. Crypto Stack says he likes EOS, and I do like EOS as well out there. EOS has become a top 5 crypto coin, and it's one of those that it's competing directly with Ethereum. You know, it's either Ether, EOS, or Cardano at this point that I feel are going to win. That are going to battle it out here for the 3rd generation blockchain. I think one of them is going to rise out of the ashes. Which one? We don't know. Most of the boomers here seem to like Cardano. A lot of people have already gave up on Ether, being that it's anorexic out there and it's malnourished, looking like Vitalik. And we still got some EOS boomers like Crypto Stacks. Johnson says, if there's no bottom, who will buy? If no one buys or holds, more danger for Bitcoin. Whales are losing interest in Bitcoin. There is a bottom. You know, there's a bottom. But, you know, no one knows where the bottom is. So, you know, don't try to find the bottom out there, is what Champagne is Champagne's opinion. Cliff Martin says, Champ at work putting in overtime for that Bitcoin. Good morning to Cliff Martin, another long-range sniper out there putting in that work. And good morning to you. Derek McLean says, I plan on having around 70% of my bag in exchange coins, Binance, UOB, Biox, and BGG. So, we know Derek, you know, he's definitely not a Bitcoin maximalist, and he's been booming with Binance this entire year. And Binance is a coin that has performed very well, one of the top performing coins this year. I don't know how it's compared next to Bitcoin now after this crash, but that's what it is. That's Derek's opinion. Mark D says, we are hoping on a kaboom. Could be a while, 4 to 6 months. Mark, it could be even more. It could be even more. We could expect now 2019 for the entire winter to carry over through the entire 2019. So at this point, I think 2020 is what we're looking at. Me personally, half the bag is going into Matrix, AI, and Walton, betting on China, says Marlon Jones. So that's his strategy. D-Rock says, I'm not buying anything that has not fulfilled their promises. Too many make-believe greedy shillers. I'm just buying BTC weekly. So D-Rock seems to agree more with what I've been saying. Crypto Stack says, I'm staying in the top 10. There you go. You know, it looks like that's a little bit more conservative. I'm not mad at that. Hefe says, Cardano all day. We got Cardano boomers. And let me tell you, I don't disagree with you maniacs. Like I said, I think EOS, Cardano, and Ethereum are going to have to battle it out. And there's going to be one that really rises from the ashes. Revolutionist says, Cardano went from 2 cents to $1.33 within 3 months of launching, and they got it pulled down like all other coins. And so when the market moons, I expect Cardano to pass the moon. There you go. If you guys want to follow the Cardano train, Revolutionist is out there slaying necks, leading the army out there. Mark D says, at least EOS has the money to survive. Where would Cardano get the money to survive? That's a great question out there. We know that Block 1, they raised a lot of money in the ICO, but you know, a lot of the Ether they may have raised, a lot of the Bitcoin they may have raised, we know that's lost about 85% of its value or more. So, you know, at least they have something that we know of, right? Mac James says, what I can't understand is who the hell is selling? I mean, what's the point of that, for Christ's sakes? There's people still selling out there, you know. I don't think any of the boomers are, but that's what it is. Big bag of ETH, says Marlon. ETH 2.0 will run good, I think, if launch is successful. Matthew says $2 Binance is his target. Okay. Max says, I've literally never sold anything and won't until 2022 or later. I like that strategy. HODL and hold on for dear life out there. I like that. Rafterman says, I like Litecoin, Ether, and about 4 other small bags. Okay. You know how I feel about Litecoin. I mean, I got a little baggy out there, but it's one of the stinkier ones out there. I'm not happy with it. Max, same here, says Revolutionist. Namicon, good morning or afternoon. Hope all is well. Was on vacation back from Maui. It's beautiful. All right. Congratulations and welcome back to the population. Let me throw a sniper for you out there. Kaboom. A nice long-range snipe out there for Cryptonomicon. He's back from Maui. Welcome. Max says, as far as the alt projects that will die, okay, I can't read that. I'm loading up on EOS and Bet Dice token for EOS dividends. Okay. If you're looking to perhaps get more EOS, you may want to look into the Shintai platform out there, Michael. It's a platform that allows you to lease your EOS directly, and you could put it up on the market. So check out Shintai, CHINTAI. AI. I have a video on it, I believe. CryptoZilla says big players that are worried about covering costs, but it will bottom out at some point. Markets are boom and bust, especially crypto. That's who CryptoZilla believes are those that are selling the bits out there. Derek says Binance held its value better than Bitcoin because Binance does quarterly buybacks and burns of the tokens with 25% of their profits. I don't know if it did better than Bitcoin at this point, but I know it did at one point. So you may be right, Derek. I know that you're a boomer with Binance. Cryptonomicon says, I sell into fiat because I swing trade and take profits. Okay. Oscar says, OMG is going to pass ETH. I don't know. You're like one of the only ones that are saying that, but I'm not mad at OMG. Mark D says, I agree. Why sell Cardano now makes no sense. Must be the bots. Mark D says. And that's kind of how I feel also with Litecoin. I mean, it's so low right now. Why sell when it's so low? You might as well weather the storm out there. Queen says, always put your bets on a working product. Cardano's taking a guess and listening to promises. And I seem to agree with that. And that's probably why I haven't completely jumped on that Cardano train. Although I'm a believer, I seem to be riding more with EOS at this point. But let's see. I'm not mad at either one. I like them both. Cryptonomicon says, thanks, champ. No problem. Tyler says, Electronium, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dash. Okay. Crypto Stack says, I'm almost positive that EOS cashed out of Ethereum from the ICO a while ago, early to mid-summer. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. And I probably would expect that at least they cashed out something. So, you know, I don't know the stats. Marlon Jones says, thank God people make buying and selling decisions using their heart, not their heads, leads them to selling at these all-time lows. Yeah, some of them are panicking out there. Matthew says, what do you think of very small caps that are already at all-time lows? What I think is that you should expect the majority of the altcoins to crash and burn and liquidate to zero. I think after this crypto winter, you're going to be seeing only about like 10 coins that really survive the long term, and those may really rise. Okay, which coins? I really don't know. If you feel the need to hodl altcoins, I would say pick 1 to 3. And, you know, if you want to be more conservative. Now, if you want to be a maniac, obviously, you know, start firing, but it's a gamble. Realize, and again, guys, champagne is not your crypto daddy. I am not a crypto advisor. I'm just giving out my personal opinion. Max says, as far as the alts to get out of, dump the ones that haven't locked in capital in fiat or stable coins to be able to pay their staff for a few more years of development. As long as they do that, they're fine for a long time. That's a good logic. Makes sense. I haven't thought of it that way. Johnson says, good night. Hoping for Bitcoin to moon next year. Okay, we all hoping it. And I'll tell you, don't expect a kaboom in 2019. We may have to wait a little longer out there. You've seen with some of the bubble bursts with Bitcoin's life cycle in the past, it took a little while sometimes for it to swing back around. 12 months, 14 months. We just don't know. Okay, so you want to manage your expectations out here. And, you know, I'm not expecting a boom for the short term here with the bits. Long term, you know, I expect it to surpass the all-time highs, but it's going to take some time. OMG is a dark horse, says Matthew Box. And, you know, I haven't heard of OMG for a while. It seems like it was spoke of a lot more last year. And it's interesting to see that you're believing that. I'm not against OMG there, Matthew. Revolutionist says he used to hodl a boatload of EOS and OMG, but he dumped them all into Cardano. And there you go, the Cardano boomer out there. D-Rock says the question is how long you want to ride the crypto. If you think it'll bounce back to the highs this year or even next, you're going to be upset long-term on the crypto. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, you know, if you think things are going to boom like they told you, like the mainstream media was saying like just a month or two ago, they were saying Bakkt was going to go online, Fidelity was going to do this, that, and a third. Everybody was cheering these suits coming into the game, and Champagne told you guys I wasn't believing in the suits out there. I told you guys that I didn't expect things to kaboom towards the end of the year, like so many said. So that's what's going on right now. Shintai is a C sound and means lease. Shintai is an S sound, has the meaning of religion of God. So it's Kintai. Okay, so Kintai. All right. Says CryptoZilla there. Kintai or Shintai, I don't know how you supposed to pronounce it, but CryptoZilla says it with a C, I guess, is a platform that allows you to lease EOS tokens out there and earn more EOS. Marlon has a quarter of the bag in masternodes, allows me to keep buying during these lows. Okay. Derek, he says he will be changing my student loan payments every month so I have more money to buy crypto while the market is sub 4,200. Okay. So you're taking the dollar cost averaging strategy. I'm not upset with that. Michael says Minex coin stakes for 6% dividends every month. And I don't know much about those little baby bear coins. I'm not into them. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm expecting most of the coins to crash and burn. So Champagne personally is not interested in the little baby bear cubs coins. But Marlon's checking out some of those coins as well. So, you know, maybe some of them may work. I'm not saying that they are all doomers, but the majority, I expect them to crash and burn. Revolutionist says, tomorrow I will buy myself some more PIVX as I expect that underdog to come boom. And PIVX is something I've covered in the past. It's very similar to Dash. It has privacy features out there. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a hybrid between proof of stake and proof of work out there. Joey Alex says, no winter here. Okay. Cryptozilla says, Chiantai. Chiantai. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. Okay, thanks, Cryptozilla. Castro says, sup, guys? What's booming today? Today, it's a crypto winter. It's a stormy one out there. It's kind of frosty. Make sure you're bundled up. You got the firewood ready. Today, we've been sharing some crypto winter survival tips. If you're just tuning in, Champagne gave 3 tips. And again, I'm not an advisor or anything. I'm just giving out my opinion. And the rest of the boomers here are sharing their opinion. And everybody has a different idea as to what to do right now in the crypto winter. And I like that. That means that everybody doesn't agree. And for those that are listening, maybe you agree with Champagne or maybe you agree with some of the other guys here in the box, and that's all good. The crypto brothers are building together, each one teach one during this crypto winter. So my personal tips here is don't attempt to buy or time the bottom. No one knows where the bottom is. So if you're waiting just to fire your entire bag and at the bottom, I don't think that's a good strategy. If you feel the need to buy, if you think it's time to start buying, then you know, you could do the dollar cost average thing. So, you know, buy periodically, but realize, okay, that the possibility of things going lower is high right now. We shared during yesterday's broadcast and compared Bitcoin bubbles from the past, and things have gone down as much as 94% in the past when bubbles have burst. Right now, we're just above 80%, about 85% from an all-time high. So things could go lower. If you told me things went down to the $2,000 range or even the $1,000 range, I believe is a possibility. Although I am not expecting it, you got to realize that those things could happen out there. So don't attempt to time the bottom out there. Number 2, have most of your bags in Bitcoin is my personal opinion, a minimum of 50%. Some are more conservative when it comes to Bitcoin, and they got up to 85 or 90%, like Rafterman just shared. Number 3, expect most of the altcoins to crash and burn. There's 2,072 altcoins listed on CoinMarketCap right now. I believe that after the crypto winter is done with, only about 5 to 10 will really survive the long term. So if you feel the need to hodl altcoins, I'm not against that. I'm not an altcoin hater. But if you want to be conservative there, my opinion would be not to hold any more than 3. Pick like 1 to 3 of them and then, you know, hold on for dear life out there is what I would say. Again, some people don't agree with Champagne and they're doing something else, and it's all good. And that's why we're sharing it here in the population of the chat box. I think that the listeners could get some valuable information here from not only Champagne, but from the boomers. It's each one teach one. Marlon says, get a PIVX Masternode Revolutionist. I plan on buying one beginning of next year. That's an interesting plan out there, Marlon. I would definitely be interested in seeing that. I'm attracted to PIVX as I've covered it in the past. Cryptozilla says, like in the word cheek. Okay, cheek tie. Okay. Revolutionist says, Marlon Jones, how much is a PIVX node? Yeah, I want to know that too. Castro says, LOL, gathering the logs for the long winter. Yeah, make sure you have the firewood out there and maybe a cold one out there. Okay, make sure you have your coats ready. Castro says 1K seems the most stable next support in my opinion. And you may not be wrong, Castro. And that's what I say. We got to manage our expectations out there. Things may go lower. Okay, so don't attempt to buy or time the bottom. If you feel the need to buy, DCA, dollar cost average, I think is the best strategy. Expect it to cost about 6,500. PIVX Masternode will return about 150 to 200 PIVX, or 150 to 200 per month at current prices. But we could expect things to go a little lower, so we don't know. But that's what it is out there. How many PIVX does it require to have a Masternode? Total PIVX out there. If you could share out there, Marlon. Double X says DigiByte up 13.46%. Nice. Okay, so, you know, I know Double X has been a bull when it comes to DigiByte, and there's been other boomers here in the population that do agree. I'm not mad at DigiByte at all. D-Rock says, who is using crypto right now? For example, paying bills or buying goods with? Well, as I shared yesterday, D-Rock, Ohio just became the first state to accept payments in Bitcoin for taxes out there. So I don't understand why a state would do that if there isn't a use case or there isn't some value in Bitcoin out there. So, you know, during the all-time low right now, maybe not an all-time low, but during this bubble burst right now, they just announced, you know, this week, Ohio is accepting Bitcoin for taxes. So, you know, I don't see why a government would accept Bitcoin if it's worthless. Okay. Iraq says, I can't read that. CryptoZilla says, Binance is doing a circle US dollar, which is a balance between the stable coins. Okay, you know how I feel about those stable coins. I'm not believing in them. I think they're dangerous. They're possible hidden landmines, if you ask me. Test Cook for You says, I have no choice but to HODL. I'm going to continue to buy when I can till the next kaboom. Indeed. Shout out to Test Cooks for You. Jim says, sorry I'm late. Hoskinson was live responding Cardano or regarding Cardano out there. Okay, I didn't know that Hoskinson was live, so you guys may have checked it out. CryptoZilla says, you said it will get the voice of the blockchain talking like a samurai in no time. Indeed, indeed. Thanks for letting me know about the Chintai, if I'm not mistaken. Chintai, let's see if I get it right. Revolutionist says, Marlon, PIVX notice 10,000 PIVX. I would rather buy Cardano and stake it as I would get more, says a Revolutionist. Kaboom to Queen's Races. Let me drop a bomb for you. Let me throw a sniper rifle for you. Queen's Races has been catching my back these few weeks, showing gratuity here in the population of the chat box. Let me throw some dollars off the ceiling here. He said he made some money off Niblio yesterday. Here's $5. I appreciate it, Queens. Thank you. It's guys like Queens, like D-Rock, like Marlon Jones, like CryptoZilla, like the revolutionists out there that are here daily here in the population of the chat box, catching my back out there and sharing their personal opinions. Although we may not always agree, we always respect each other as crypto brothers. And guys, check out Queens Race's YouTube channel. He's racing cars out there, street racing in Queens. If you're into that, he's covering that content out there. Marlon says, you need 10K PIVX to host a masternode. It will cost about $6,500 at current price. Thank you for sharing that with us, Marlon. CryptoZilla says, yes, Chintai, spelled Chintai. Okay, thank you. Thank you for getting that pronunciation figured out for us. Marlon, he says, no, you won't. Cardano has an annual return of 4%. PIVX Masternode has an annual return of 13.9%. Okay, so that's what it is. I don't know that information out there, so thanks for sharing it with us. All my Asian language skills I learned from Kung Fu movies, says Jim. Indeed, and we got CryptoZilla out of Tokyo letting us know how to properly pronounce things, even though I'm probably butchering them up as far as the pronunciation. You know, Champagne's not the most smoothest and articulate here, but you guys get the point. I get the point across, and that's what matters out there. Jin Masternode returns 95% though, says Marlon, and he's experimenting with that little baby bear node. So let's see, and I've been weary about those of all altcoins. I'm not interested in any baby bear altcoins right now. That's not to say that one of them may not be a gem out there. And again, I'm picking about 1 to 3. I'm still holding this Litecoin bag. I got a Monero. I got an EOS. I got these blue chippers. But as far as small little baby bear coins, I say the smallest coin right now is probably like a Steem coin or some of the airdrops that we have received there with EOS. But again, the majority of the bag should always be in Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, if you're going to be here for the long run. Is that also at the same time, Champagne's not a wild gambler out there, so if you want to take a more risk, you may have to go to smaller coins out there, and that's what it is. And I'm not mad at that at all. Marlon says they're booming. Check my weekly updates on Masternodes. I'm showing you the money. Okay, check them out. And I have checked out some of Marlon's videos, so you guys check it out. Marlon's keeping us updated out there. I appreciate it, Marlon. Thank you. If you're just tuning in, it's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber here during the crypto winter. We're here daily, guys, and we will survive. Today, we're sharing some crypto winter survival tips. And I share 3 tips that I wrote down here, my personal opinion. And some of the boomers here have been sharing their tips as well. I say don't try it to time or buy the bottom if you feel the need to buy, dollar cost average, but realize that things could go lower. Number 2, have most of your bags in Bitcoin a minimum of 50%. And number 3, expect most altcoins to crash and burn. There's 2,000 cryptocurrencies on the coin market cap. I see only about 5 to 10 really surviving this crypto winter. I could compare this similar to the .com bust that happened around 2000. And you could see that the majority of the companies were completely liquidated. And it's only companies like Google, Amazon, eBay, only a handful of companies are those that actually survived the storm. I expect something similar here to happen with the cryptocurrencies. If you feel the need to hodl the altcoins, that's all good. That's not to say that some of these altcoins may not really boom for the long term out here. And I would say pick no more than 3. We got Revolutionists. He picked Cardano all the way, and that's all good. So if you feel the need of being an altcoin, I wouldn't go for like 20 or 30 altcoins. Some people will disagree. We had someone else say that, they find that to be a better strategy. But again, I'm sharing my opinion. So that's what it is. Who is making Bitcoin go so low? I think it's a combination of a lot of things out there. Right now, I think that the altcoins may be affecting Bitcoin more than some people may think. And also the stable coins out there. The stable coins, I think that people have been using the stable coins to buy and sell Bitcoin and cash out to fiat somehow. I don't know. I don't have direct evidence, but I'm not liking the smell of these stable coins at all. All right, guys, we've been streaming for about 36 minutes out here. If you have any other tips here for the boomers and for those listening, drop them here in the population of the chat box. I appreciate all the love. I'll take a few more comments and questions before we get out of here. Make sure you check out yesterday's live streams. We did 2, comparing Bitcoin bubbles, and then we did a general self-improvement chat where we talk about our strength goals. We've been doing a second live stream once a week. This week we did one on Monday, and we're going to do one on Friday because we had to make up last week's that we missed. But we'll be doing one a week on Friday, and we talk about we have a general open discussion. We could talk about strength training, diet, exercise, and more out there. So make sure you tune into all that. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, post notifications. You guys know the deal. D-Rock says it doesn't matter to him. He'll still be buying weekly. Martin Jones got another buy order at 1,000 at $1.05. Queen's Racist says these big institutions are loving these prices. And I agree on that one. I totally agree on that one, Queens. Nano says Tether is being investigated for Bitcoin price manipulation up to 20K. I'm sure they will get just a slap on the wrist, if anything. And yeah, we know about that, Nano. And, now, not only do we have Tether, but we have all these other mimics of Tether, all these other mimic coins, that are, like I said, arguably counterfeit crypto. I don't know how, these stable coins are produced out there and who's the one that actually generates the blocks. Is it trust? Could you trust this? I mean, I don't know. Queen says, can't wait till they come in as long as it's not over the counter. Okay. Derek McLean says these prices will never be hit again after the bull run is confirmed by now, says Derek. Okay. Marlon says no matter your favorite alt or Bitcoin, hodl your bag on core wallet or hardware wallet. Never leave your bag on an exchange. Exchanges will play games with your coins and control the access to your funds. I like that point out there, Marlon. I should have listed that one because that one's something that a lot of people forget about. Hold your own coins. Make sure you have the wallet out there. And if you're really gonna hodl, don't leave it on Binance. Don't leave it on Coinbase or whatever exchange you owe. Make sure you make your deal, you make your transaction and remove it from the exchange out there. So I definitely 1,000% agree with that. And thanks for reminding us about that, Marlon. D-Rock says, speaking of big institutions, GM shutting down a bunch of North American plants. They got a bailout in billions and continue to buy their stocks back. I don't trust them. Okay. We normally don't cover the other stocks, but maybe we will talk about that more in the future. Thanks for letting us know. Aaron says, keep getting weird alerts on Robinhood. Said Bitcoin Cash was up 12.6% to 215-ish. Coin market cap is way less than that. Coin market cap is an average of all the exchanges. So if you check it, you could see that, you know, one exchange it may be cheaper than others. So coin market cap takes an average of all the exchanges that are selling that coin. So that's what it is. You may want to check that out. Queen's Racist says the hardware wallets are in the hibernation spot. Okay. And Marlon Jones agrees on the GM. Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate all you boomers out there. I'm going to go ahead and start tuning out. But those were my crypto winter survival tips. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and hit the replay and see what my tips are. Check out the chat box here. We got some good tips here from the rest of the boomers here. We got a few good men here that are surviving this crypto winter, these crypto brothers. At this point, things, you know, like I said, over 80% loss from all-time high. What remains here is only true crypto maniac soldiers here on the front line. So I expect you guys to keep rocking with me this entire crypto winter. And while we cover the winter, cover the storm, and while we do our ancillary broadcast here with self-improvement, diet, and exercise. Revolutionist is buying all the way down. Shout out to Revolutionists out there. I appreciate you, Revolutionists. Queen says, thank you, champ. Great ideas. Thank you, Queens, for showing love there. I appreciate you as well. D-Rock says, it's just a point that big money will be heartless and take more than they give. Be your own dog. Indeed, I agree with you, D-Rock. Aaron says, I know, just funny that Robinhood demand is higher. Yeah, it's funny bunny. There's a lot of funny bunny going on. Apparently, you know, we don't have direct evidence out there, but there's still a lot of funny bunny going on with these exchanges. That's why I believe that decentralized exchanges are going to have more value in the future. As these centralized exchanges are exposed, perhaps more demand for decentralized exchanges will occur. Battle of the Bulge weather. We will win. Indeed, says Jim. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Jim, D-Rock, Revolutionist, Queens, Aaron, Marlon, and the rest of the boomers out there. I'm going to go ahead and tune out. Catch me tomorrow. We'll be here daily on the weekdays. It's the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in.